The interesting thing is, at first I thought it would never materialize. They talked about this pandemic, and I'm going, well, we've heard that before, right? You heard it with Ebola, you heard it with different things, and we never felt the impact. We would read about it, but we never felt the impact. And so I went from not thinking that it might happen to now I'm having trouble picturing normal again. I think COVID has strengthened what was already an outstanding culture at Platteview High School, because the neat thing that I see is students came back in what would be looked at as pretty intrusive things, where you have to wear a mask, you have to sit in barriers, you have to pull up your mask above your nose and cover your mouth, and they've kind of just said, okay, what do we need to do? We want to be here, we want to put our best foot forward. And I think it's strengthened a partnership that was already strong before, but when we get to have this big bonfire with these dividers and masks and a big fire for our fake homecoming that we'll have later when we can burn all these things, it'll be just this big joyous event that, look what we came through together. Now when we don't have to deal with these barriers, we can be even stronger.
COVID has impacted the classroom. It has made us as teachers, we have to differentiate more. We have to take a little more time and really thoughtful of how we prepare our lessons to really meet all learners, which I think is going to make us grow as a building and grow as a staff, to be quite honest with you. Is more work because you're preparing almost 2 lessons a day, because you're preparing for the students that aren't here, and then you're preparing for the students that are here, and it has changed in that way. It really makes you analyze what you're teaching and why you're teaching it.
Our teachers have went over the top, and if anybody ever wants to try this sometimes, try teaching a number of kids in a classroom 6 periods a day while balancing that you have a handful of kids in every one of those classes e-learning and trying to keep up, and you're trying to juggle all those balls at once, and somebody's struggling and you're taking time over here for that, but you got to keep up with this. It is a mammoth task that I can't even believe our teachers pulled off. But they are an amazing group anyways, but the pandemic has kind of highlighted it, I think.
I'm very grateful to have my senior year in person, even with all the difficulties, just to be able to actually look at my teachers and all my fellow students in the eyes and be a part of the social aspect of the school.
I think the kids have adjusted a lot better than I have. As I'm coaching, I'll sit there and pull my mask down to really put something, kind of get my point across, and then I'll forget, and they're like, mask? Oh, thank you. So I have them call me out on it. For them, I'll be honest with you, they've adjusted fantastically. They don't complain about their masks at all. They're just used to it. So yeah, the adults it's a little bit harder, but for the kids yeah, they've been great.
Could there be resentment? Could there be hard feelings? Could there be feeling sorry for myself? You can have all those feelings, but our students haven't done that. They've came back in a kind of a renewed sense of thankfulness that they're here, and the people that are contributing to them. There was one day where some kids wrote some messages on chalk out in the front parking lot for teachers, and you'd see teachers crying. It's pretty amazing stuff that our kids care that much. And culturally, we've always been a home run as far as our culture here. But I think now you've got culture mixed with gratitude, and that's a wonderful weapon.
Everyone wants to get out of this together. We want to get to the end of this. We want to push for that. And in my opinion, I learned the most by just being respectful, keeping myself in line, doing what I'm supposed to do, and trying to get to the end goal.
Once the pandemic is over, I look forward to having our community back at our events.
Once the pandemic is over, I'm excited to go to college without having to wear a face mask, to be able to do all the activities and to truly get the college experience that I'm looking for.
Once the pandemic's over, the biggest thing I would like to see is just see the students' faces and see smiles so that we can actually socialize again.